Hi, thanks for joining me today. My name's Samantha. In today's video, we're going to be debating whether it's better to pink or serge your raw edges when pre-washing. The 5 categories that I've decided to factor in with the 2 different methods are the amount of time it takes to do one stretch of fabric with the method. The second is the cost. How much did the device that it takes to do this method cost? And then durability, which would be how it looks when it started versus how it looks when it comes out of the dryer. The 4th category is amount lost. So we're going to see how much is cut off from the serger and how much is cut off from the scissors. And then the last category is what practice or skills are made by using this method. Let's get into the video. I just finished filming my video on using my Serge machine for the first time, so I need to empty out my little bucket here. That's also why I'm wearing the same outfit. So what I'm going to do is I have this avocado fabric that I'm going to be making some napkins out of, and I'm going to use one side of the cut edge for pinking and one side for serging. So it'll be the same piece of fabric. There's no difference. So on one end, we're going to do one method, and the other end, we're going to do the other. So one end will be pinked and one end will be serged. So now when serging, I need to open it up all the way or else it'll be stuck folded in half. But then again, I do put them on my, I'm going to serge it with both pieces together, because when I put mine on my comic book boards, I fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And this is how I cut it when I'm pinking. So I'm going to leave it folded in half and we're going to see how this goes. The only thing is that it won't be able to open all the way in the wash, but it'll just be one little section that can't open all the way. Okay, I'm going to open it. Never mind. I go back. I'm going to open it. Okay, so I am going to do another clip so that I can time myself how long it takes. And I'm just going to go at like an average speed. You can see here the bucket's empty, so we'll see how much is left over. And I'm just going to use up this thread that it came with until it's empty, and then I'll replace it with the white threads I have. Because why not? Who cares if this has crazy looking thread? It's just for washing it. It's going to get cut off anyways, so I don't really care. I need to move my needle up. Okay. Okay. Place your bets in the comments down below. Which one do you think will win? Pinking versus serging. All right, let me restart a new clip. Timer starts now. Done. 51 seconds. At a first glance, I would say this method worked really well. It was quite fast. I think it worked well. You're supposed to have this like little tweezer tool that you pull the end through. I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Here's the other end of the fabric. You can see that it's a little folded from when I got it, and it's already not a perfect angle. So we'll have to take that into account when we look at how much was left over. I've got my pinking shears here. I'm going to go ahead and do this edge as straight as I can, and then I'm going to see how long it takes. Go. It took 19 seconds to pink the edge. So let's look at how much was cut off and how straight the edges are. This is how much came off when we serged, and this is how much came off when we pinked. Now I did have to do a little more with this one because you could tell right away it was already uneven. But even if we cut this in half, that's still a lot more fabric that came off. The next category of it, how much came off, is how much it warps when it gets washed. So let's see how straight the lines are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half again. And we're going to see how straight the lines are. So if I line this up, it's not super straight. It's pretty straight. So even if nothing were to get warped when getting washed, I would still end up cutting this much off. This much would get cut off to have a straight edge. So I would say that worked all right. Let's see how the other side works. I would say that's pretty darn straight. Okay, let's lay it down. Let's see what it looks like. So it's a little off, you can see. Sorry, there's so much fabric, it's like pulling it off the table. So it's a little off, but I don't think it's as much off as the pinking was. I'm going to go put the avocado fabric in the wash, and then while that's being washed, we can go ahead and look at all the other categories and see how it's ranking so far. There are 2 more categories added to our comparing and contrasting. So I added ease of use and straightness. So I already showed you that the serging seemed to be a lot straighter than pinking shears because it's just more of a straight shot versus each cut being another stroke. And that's also just me. I'm bad at cutting. I'm not good at cutting anything. So that could also be my problem. Ease of use, it's definitely quicker. It's less strain on you to do serging versus pinking. And this also depends on how much fabric you're doing at a time. I'll insert a picture or a video of when I got a whole bunch of fabric from the thrift store. I got bags of fabric. There was so much. It took me a week to pink, wash, fold, everything to these fabrics just to be able to use them. It took me forever. And my fingers hurt so bad from cut. So if you're only getting in like one fabric at a time, then yes, pinking shears are the way to go. But if you're doing like a lot of fabric at one time, I would definitely suggest the serging machine. And the next category is cost. Now this can totally vary because you could get super nice pinking shears, you could get totally crappy pinking shears, you could get a super nice serger, you could get a crappy serger. So I would say that the things that I have are quite medium. They're quite easily accessible for a beginner, and they're not super expensive, in my opinion. So my pinking shears came in a 2-pack. There is a scalloped pair and a jagged pair, which is your typical pinking shear. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is the scalloped edge, and this is the triangle zigzag cut. And then they also came with a pair of thread cutters. I use these like crazy. So like I said, they come in different shapes and sizes. Those are the ones I have. And then the serging machine I have, the 1034D Brother Serger machine, this was $250. Obviously, both of them, it could totally vary, but just straight up at cost, I could definitely see getting pinking shears first, which is what I did. I used pinking shears for about, I probably got them when I got that big order of thrifting fabrics last summer. So about 6 or 9 months ago. And I use them all the time. Like I use them when I get fabrics in. I think now I'll use my serger unless I only get like one fabric. Then I'll probably just pull out the pinking shears. It's definitely nice that it's low technology, you know, like you just go ahead and use it real quick. The pinking shears will go dull eventually, so whatever price you pay for it is not the final cost. You either have to get rid of them or sharpen them. Everything I've seen says you can't sharpen them based on the way that the teeth are, and so you just have to get a new pair. For the serging machine, there are additional costs as well. The electricity, the needles, the blades, the thread, so it's not just one cost either. But just at a base cost, $250 versus $15. For time, the serger took 51 seconds and the pinking shears took 19 seconds. The pinking shears, though, I had the fabric folded in half, and the serging I did as one strip, and I didn't have it pushed down all the way on the pedal. So I would say if we doubled the time of the pinking shears to 40 seconds minus 2 seconds, so 38 seconds. 38 seconds versus 51 is a better comparison. It definitely is faster to do the pinking shears, and you could do it anywhere. You could do it in the living room while you're watching a movie versus the serger where you have to be somewhere where there is power and at a table. So that's another factor. The last thing that I want to talk about is the durability and the mount loss, but we're going to have to wait until the fabric comes out of the wash, so I'll record that clip later and insert it right here. The fabric is out of the wash, and here are the results. So the serged edge looks really good. It looks just as it did when we put it in. And then the pinked one kind of looks like it got eaten by a dog. And that's what it normally looks like. But it's not frayed. It is holding its own. So I think they're both effective methods. I just think the serger leaves you with better finish. Another thing to keep in mind is, like, this piece of fabric, for example, is a remnant. So when I serged the two edges, I already didn't have that much fabric to begin with, and it allowed me to preserve so much more of the fabric. So I have much more to work with. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope I informed you a little bit more on the difference between pinking and serging, and I hope you form your own opinion of which one you'd like to use or which one that you've been using and you want to keep doing that. I think that I will use both in combination. Like I said previously, I think that if I only get one or two fabrics, I'll probably just pink them unless I already have my serging machine set up. If I get a bunch of fabrics, then I'm going to serge them because it's much quicker, and I think it has a better hold when it goes through the wash, as well as when I go to put them on my comic boards. It just gives me a nicer finish and a cleaner cut. But that's just my opinion. Share your opinion in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.